Me? I'm more of a Hawaiian. Punch! Dumps like a truck. Thighs like what? All night long.
What do you think I'm going to say to you?
No.
Correct. Goodbye.
Well, in that case, tonight is opening night.
Way back in the fall of 1995, a vehicular combat legend was born. And by the 9 did this franchise start off with a real ballbuster. Developed by Singletrek, a solid foundation of a game was laid that would unknowingly spawn several sequels and touch the twisted hearts of many people around the world, including myself.
It was perfect. Perfect.
So come along with me as we journey through the beginning of one of the coolest franchises ever made. Welcome everyone to Twisted Metal, 28 years later. Similar to the other titles we revisited in this franchise, getting this ancient gem up and running was step number 1. And as much as I tried, the menu never really functioned properly. Just like fails to load, causing navigation to be a bit limited. Anyway, luckily the game itself ran just fine, and soon we were off to the races. Trying to decide what character I should choose for Calypso's first tournament became a daunting one, giving just about all of them a test run, only to realize they're just about as lethal as a paper bag.
You said it would be easy.
No joke, guys, I had so much trouble deciding. I started with Sweet Tooth because I figured it would fit the theme of this video, but I learned rather quickly he doesn't complement my playstyle. It had its moments.
Do a barrel roll!
Unsatisfied, I moved to a more durable ride. Mr. Grimm. Honestly, I tried every damn character. Like, the specials feel like a fart in the wind, and filtering through everyone just confirmed the continuation, or birth, of everyone ganging up on me. This was a crippling process, as with all of them, I could only make it to about the 2nd level. It appeared I was at a standstill.
I didn't even see it come.
Yet, like an absence of light in the distance, one rose above the rest like a dark beacon, with massive ramming potential. Darkseid. It's like the only thing he's semi-decent at. Level 1. The Arena.
You're going nowhere.
A simple gladiatorial 1v1 face-off based in a massive combat arena. And in our case, our competitor was none other than Thumper.
Man, this is some bullshit!
Which I didn't know whether to laugh or scream about. Starting off with our enemy in sight, the tournament kicked off. And ended. I'm extremely satisfied with this outcome. This was somehow like the most realistic and fake depiction of what a semi would do to an Impala. Gets destroyed, but breaks the Matrix. Alright, Level 2, the Warehouse District. The first real mission of the game, increasing our enemy count to 3. Did I mention this game controls like garbage? Oh, and Thumper is out for revenge.
Oh my god, help me, I don't want to die!
Pulling a Yui and immediately putting Thumper in his place, my attention switched to Yellow Jacket, or better yet, his demise. A victory, but not without its cost. Getting our health to a more reasonable level, I took on Crimson Fury, and basically negated it. This was intense. Thumper even showed up and assisted in his destruction. Which was great, making him our final enemy and mirroring Level 1.
Move this man!
The rematch of a century. This went from in the bag to Pucker Factor 5000. Real fast. barely slipped by on that one, but we still got all our lives. Level 3, the Freeway. A huge section of expressway with a more diverse group of 5 enemy vehicles, including Sweet Tooth, and the unexpected pain-in-my-ass Hammerhead. The massive bullshit monster truck with the ramming special that totally steals my thunder.
This is where you die!
It's over. We are screwed.
It quickly became clear after getting bogged down with these fools that in order for me to maintain 3 lives against their 5, a change in tactics was necessary. And I call it, run like hell and make your moves on the go. And I gotta say, though not perfect, it's a reliable strategy that's helped me on more than one Twisted Metal game. And here was no different.
Run for your lives!
Avoiding Hammerhead in the beginning, while giving him some cover attacks from the rear, I ran into Roadkill, flattening our first dent on the board. Eat my ass, Roadkill! Flying through the barricades and these super annoying missile guys. I collected all the ammo I could find while trying to minimize damage. Locking eyes with Yellow Jacket, I made my move, which worked pretty well until Spectre arrived and really ruined the whole thing. Hammerhead froze me, and with the comforting health nearby, my rage got the better of me, and I duked it out for a while. So, we had to use another health. But before we knew it, we were back on the road. Spotting Sweet Tooth, I gave him a fire missile and collected some more health, again, for the battle to come. Yeah, I'm glad I did, because even though I tried to stick to my strategy, he was like breaking my game just following me around. So, I had to face him. Lining up with people is so hard in this game. Like, I'd do something if I could see anyone.
I'm not blind 23 hours a day or 22 hours a day. I'm blind the whole goddamn time.
I was finally able to get a beat on him, but I had suffered greatly. Apparently enough to finish Roadkill, but not enough to get another health platform.
Denied.
Our reign was over. With 2 lives left, 2 enemies down, and 3 remaining, I threw caution to the wind and set out for my revenge. Starting with Yellow Jacket, who had a very bad day. Now we have 2 left. Spotting Hammerhead in the distance, the pressure was on as we once again collided together for large vehicle supremacy. And I totally won that. Realizing Spectre had just joined the fray, I let them fight it out, determined to take on the victor. Now, who will be worthy? And of course it's Hammerhead. Battling it out and delivering some solid hits, I redirected my attention to this missile guy, and in the process, took us all the way back to where this all started. We did it. And I'm not upset about it. Level 4, River Park Rumble. The level that's basically a copy of Level 2 and apparently sucks more ass than any thus far. Noticing our enemy count has risen to 6, my confidence was in the air as I went up against Sweet Tooth, Yellow Jacket, Outlaw, Pit Viper, Warthog, and Mr. Grimm. If I could say anything about my experience with this level, is it really cemented the pros and cons of each of these characters. Sweet Tooth is the annoying douche he's always been. Outlaw never stops using his special. Warthog might as well be a tank, because he is one. Mr. Grimm is impossible to hit. And these 2 are just terrible. I swear, guys, I've played this mission 100 times. Just like I have for our previous ventures into this franchise, I've made it my mission to complete these games with the 3 lives available to you at the beginning, the way I used to play as a kid. Needless to say, after my 100th death and the overwhelming difficulty of this game, I did something I've never done. I switched my tactic to reloading every new level with the code made available at the end. This would start me off every time with 3 lives and allow me to focus on just the current level and not the entire game as a whole. Some of you in the past have mentioned that this is the way it's meant to be played, which is fair, but I argue, why not make a level screen then? or just give me 3 lives every time I beat a mission. For this reason, I don't agree, and I feel like it's a bit of a cheat, but I never said I was above that. So, after my billionth death and a complete failure to beat this hellhole without losing a life, I went back to the main menu and entered the code for River Park, restarting us with 3 lives and a whole new sense of confidence. Oh, come on. Gonna just try that again. Risking like all my health on Yellow Jacket and Outlaw, I followed Mr. Grimm to a health platform before making my way around and reuniting with them in devastating fashion. On the board, yet soon, so were they. I didn't even get killed by a contestant. I let that man live, and that's what he does to me. Seemingly fighting the entire animal kingdom, Mr. Piggy and Pit Viper ganged up on me like a pack of hyenas, forcing me to go back for health. Again, did I mention these controls suck? Anyway, fixing myself up a bit, Warthog and I once again clashed together, barely making a dent in that thick hide. With Sweet Tooth entering the fray, I accidentally killed Pit Viper and watched Sweet Tooth die. From something. Probably like me. I'll take it. Well, with 3 enemies remaining and basically knocking on death's door, I quickly separated myself from the action in search for health. And though I tried, it seemed that well had run dry. Alright. 3 against 1. Let's do this. Facing off against Mr. Grimm, I fire missiled him in the face and rammed him into oblivion, allowing me to redirect my attention to Warthog and finally put this little piggy to bed. Only Yellow Jacket left. Hello. So glad this level is over. Just as a point of reference, each one of these files was an attempt at this level. This shit was impossible. Here's to a laid-back level 5. Level 5. Cyberband. 8 enemies? There's 8 enemies in this one? Oh, and we got Warthog and Hammerhead.
It's really beyond words. It's really incalculable.
Easily the largest map in the game, Cyberbia did little to minimize the hellscape of death that these levels continue to be. Set in a comforting suburban locale located near the LA River, I guess, I failed so many times, once again attempting this level. Man! Lucky for me, it wasn't long before I was able to turn the cheesy tables on this game. And oh, did I find something. After thumping Thumper, sacrificing myself to Sweet Tooth, and killing Spectre, because this doesn't work with him alive, I perched myself up on this flat corner area of the drainage system, finding that I had become out of reach of enemy attacks, and though lacking the weaponry to use this spot offensively, I instead just sat back and let these fools destroy each other. Now, this was a relatively solid strategy, but in doing this brought out one of my biggest gripes of these games since I started my replays of this franchise. It is very clear you are the glue that holds this entire tournament together, aka the main target of everyone. Remove yourself from the action and watch the contestants lose their reason to exist. For example, my average survival time for these levels up until this point was around 10 minutes a try, and after plopping myself up here, that grew to just under an hour. I'm not kidding, these guys drove around like aimless drones during this, and it's obvious this game breaks without you. But this is not to say they achieved nothing, because as rare as it might have been, every now and then they would clash, resulting in some super entertaining skirmishes. Honestly, I felt like an emperor watching a gladiatorial event. Fight for me, peasants! By far the leader of these random encounters was Hammerhead, who, considering his special and my circumstances, turned him into an unsuspecting ally. He was by far my favorite knight.
You fight with the strength of many men, Sir Knight.
Watching him take out Warthog was like devilishly satisfying. He really had quite the damage-dealing streak going on until Mr. Grimm joined in. The guy just plants a bomb and then pieces out. Well played, Mr. Grimm. Well played. Though, with the amount of times you've crashed into that pillar, I'm not sure you'll manage to do something like that again. Anyway, by this point, the majority of the opposition were destroyed, and feeling it safe, I jumped back in to finish off the stragglers. Finally, launching us into Level 6, the rooftops. The twisted predecessor to the hell that was New York, now in LA. The final level in the contest, and the one between us and our rematch with Minion, which I'm sure will be fair and totally above board.
I guarantee it.
Going up against only 3 contestants this time, Crimson Fury, Outlaw, and my favorite guy in the world, Thumper, I was fully aware that my starting 3 lives were going to have to carry me through both the elimination of these 3, but also Minion himself, similar to the second. So the mission to conserve as many lives as I could began, and this was way harder than it seemed. After battling it out for a while and getting a lay of the land.
Are you fucking kidding me?
A strategy began to form, placing priority on Thumper and Outlaw before going after Crimson last. A strategy that eventually worked out, and at the same time, didn't.
What the hell is even that?
There was no way he should have survived that. I attempted this so many times, trying once again not to lose a life, but after this, I just chose to move forward. Heading into the battle with Minion with just 2 lives to spare. Dropping into the battle with a barrage of missiles, our rematch kicked off as I did everything I could to dodge his attacks and attack him from the side. This kinda worked, but getting close to him often came with a price. It took more than a few attempts to get a grip on this. Mainly because Minion is apparently playing by his own rules. Like, beautifully executed, and I'm rewarded with this. This is bullshit. If that was me, I would have been fucked, but who cares about fairness in this tournament? On probably my 10th attempt, I was finally able to deal some decent damage in the beginning, before losing our first life. A circumstance that gave us the advantage with our last. Oh, you're going down. Spotting him ahead, I gave him everything I had, frantically trying to end this nightmare of a game and put this baby to bed. Like, if I could just hit you. There. We finally did it. I can't believe I'm saying this, but this game makes Black feel like child's play. With the contest over and our wish at hand, we get presented with a title scroll for all our hard work, ironically consisting of Darkseid retrieving Black from Calypso. Not that one, this one. This is an interesting little read, but doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. He's got a face burned beyond recognition, yet visibly goes pale.
Let's go, Black. It's time to come home.
The alternate scenes for these wishes are fucking hilarious. It's like their budget was just big enough to remotely resemble what this scroll is.
Black? I don't understand.
Either do I.
No! What are you doing with Black?
Ugh, this game is fucked with my head. I think this is my favorite moment.
Oh, that's strange. It tastes like...
This is like the personification of this game.
It tastes like...
It's like a chef's kiss. Anyway, with Black returned, we speed off into the LA night, searching for the expressway back to hell, and wondering why we needed to complete this lengthy contest to do what we just did.
It was not your place to understand. And even though you'll never admit it, there are many things you will never fully understand.
Excuse me.
Oh well. See you in Washington in 4 years. The original Twisted Metal is a great example of what just a little more time in the oven can do.
Even paint this wall!
It's a good time, but also extremely rough around the edges and lacking the polish of what would be the second. I think this comparison can be applied to 3 and 4, as even 989 Studios improved a lot on their second go-around. in my opinion. It's a messy first installment that doesn't pull any punches and is arguably too hard. Yet, the tone and characters, music and mayhem shine through and carry you through the experience.
How's he gotten at these? He's got it souped up or something.
Creating a perfect base for growth. This game was a janky nightmare, but the bones of the franchise are here, even if they need a little polish. This metal is just a bit rusty. Well, everyone, I hope you all enjoyed my look into Twisted Metal 28 years later. I'm going to be releasing a poll alongside the launch of this video on which of the 3 remaining games I should tackle next. So join in and voice your opinion over there. Now, before I close out this video, I've had a few of you ask about my thoughts on the new Peacock Twisted Metal show. I've watched the trailer, and aside from the tiny glimpses of Sweet Tooth, I wasn't too impressed. I personally think the tone isn't right, and that choice of music was way off. The theme of the game would have been better. And obvious.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Coincidentally, while putting this video together, a clip released showing an interaction between Sweet Tooth and our supposed main character, John Doe. And this did not really improve my opinion. I will admit this franchise over the years has created a less than sturdy continuity, but this doesn't seem to resemble it.
Like it when the beat go? Baby, let your booty go. Girl, you want to show?
I mean, he looks alright. I like how it clearly looks like someone just rubbed dirt all over him. To me, Sweet Tooth was either like a stoic brute mass murderer or a timidly creepy psychopath. It seems like they took his look from recent titles and mixed it with the personality of the old, creating like a strange take that seems to have lost all its subtlety. Now, this is just based off a glimpse of the show, so we'll have to wait and see how it really is, but analyzing what we have, my gut tells me if I were to make a Twisted Metal show, it wouldn't look like this.
I'm more of a Hawaiian.
So, yeah, I want nothing else for this to be great, but my gut tells me it probably won't be. But we'll see. I want to thank you all for watching, and an extremely metal thank you to our patrons.
Rock and roll!
You guys rule. Stay tuned for what's next. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.